And episode 12 of True Sports is live. I'm Taylor Phillips along with Louis Tenore. Well, Fernando Tatis is suspended 80 games for taking PEDs.
What a shame. I mean, look,
Total
you know,
shame. Yeah.
it's a banned substance first of all, so you had no business doing it, and yet you went and do it anyway. You went against your own judgment, thinking that I'm gonna be all right. It's not gonna do any harm. Wrong, buddy, because in the long run, it is gonna do you harm, and it may even kill you. I mean, the MLB has set these guidelines, and the NFL and all sports has set these guidelines for these substances, so-called substances, and not to take it. They're on the list, and yet you have to be a complete idiot to go and take it against the will of the league. So now you're jeopardizing your career, your team's chance of getting into the postseason, and for what? To take this stupid thing you had no business taking whatsoever. What a
Yeah.
dumbass.
Yep. True. So there's still this waiver trade deadline
Yep.
still to come. Well, who knows who MLB has in store.
Oh, I'm sure they got something up their sleeve.
Yep. And then you got NFL preseason week 1 almost in the can.
Mm-hmm.
My Lions almost had that one, but their secondary defense again gave it away. On a fourth
Yes.
down, Desmond Ritter threw a touchdown pass with 90 seconds exactly to go. Boswell, that cornerback or safety, got behind his man and let him make the catch. Get in front of him, make some kind of defensive play. Either break up the pass or intercept the damn ball.
Yeah. And another thing happened. The Patriots again lose to the Giants. I mean, every seems like in the last I don't know how many years now, but every time that New England is almost sure to win, the Giants come up and beat them. It happens in the preseason, the regular season, and the postseason. I mean, why is it Why is it that New England can't beat the Giants? And this was before Brady and the Gronk left the team. Riddle me this, folks.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
answer. Okay.
Giants have the Patriots number.
Yeah.
No question about it. So, so any thoughts on the rest of the NFL?
Well, it's only preseason, but what I can tell right now, whatever hope I have for the Jets is quickly fading because Zachy boy got hurt again. Luckily, it's not going to be as bad as we think because he was able to give under his own power last night. After suffering the injury after uh, his knee began to buckle. It looked serious, at first, but now it looks like he's only going to miss like 1 or 2 weeks of the regular season. Which sucks. I mean, because you want your players, to get all in there, but it's like he has no luck at all. He had an injury last season that cost him, a bunch of the season, and now this again. I mean, I don't know. Are the Jets cursed? Are the quarterbacks cursed? I mean, because every year it looks like we get somebody that shows potential, and then they get injured.
Yeah, lots of injuries happen in the NFL everywhere.
Yeah, but in preseason it hurts even more.
Yeah, no,
Well,
no,
it
no,
sucks more.
no Lions injuries that I've been aware of as of late.
Huh? Lucky you.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
But but yeah, too bad for the Jets, I guess.
Uh huh. What else is new?
Yep.
I've been a sufferer since '74.
I mean, my Lions have potential, but their secondary just keeps on killing them,
Yeah, I know.
or lack thereof.
Yeah.
Especially in on third down conversion, conversion situations and fourth down, and especially fourth down conversion situations when the game is on the line, when the game is on the fucking line.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah. It's I've seen that for like the third time in the last 2 fucking years now. And as a Lion fan, it really fucking pisses me off. Their secondary for years has killed this franchise.
Yeah.
On the field. Yeah, gotta have way better secondary than that. Just make defensive plays, break up passes, intercept the ball, cover your men. 24 fucking 7, 60 minutes plus, no less.
No mas.
Yeah. All right, so it's time. With that being said, it's time to gather it all in with your true sports report.
You got it. All right, and away we go, folks. First up in the MLB, the Nationals are leading the Padres now 4-3, top of the ninth. Runner on first and 2 out. Edwards Jr. is pitching and Mazzara is at bat. Bottom 8, Diamondbacks are leading the Rockies 5-0. Runner on first and 2 out. Marpley is batting and Nunez is pitching and Nunez is at bat. Looks to be a sure winner, but you never know. Going into the bottom of the 5th, the Giants lead the Pirates 2-0. Davis, Yasserman, and Crawford are due at bat. Top of the 5th right now, the Twins lead the Angels 2-0. Runners on first and third, 2 out. Demeters is pitching and Polanco is at bat. All the rest are final. Braves over the Fish. You call them the Marlins 5-2. That's in game 1. Mueller got the win. Rosado got the loss, and Jansen got the save. I'll get to game 2 in a minute here. They don't go in order. Blue Jays over the Guardians 2-1. Bass got the win. McKenzie got the loss, and Romano got the save. Rays over the Orioles 8-2. McClanahan got the win, and Hall got the loss. Cubs over the Reds 7-2. Newcomb got the win, and Ashcraft got the loss. Rays are coming on strong here. Okay, don't count them out yet, folks. Rays beat the Marlins 6-2 in game 2. Anderson got the win. Nance got the loss, and Iglesias got the save. All the games I see before. Oh no. White Sox over the Tigers 6-4. Galato got the win. Ramirez got the loss, and Hendricks got the save. Dodgers had a field day over the Royals 13-3. Bickford got the win, and Keller got the loss. That's a field day. All right. Astros blanked the A's 8-0. McCullers Jr. got the win, and Luge got the loss. By the way, that was his first game back tonight. McCullers, that is. Mets hold off the Phillies 1-0. DeGrom, who else, got the win. Nola got the loss, and Diaz got the save. In 10 innings, the Brewers over the Cardinals 3-2. Williams got the win. Gregorius got the loss, and Bush got the save. Just went final a few minutes ago. The Yankees beat the Red Sox 3-2. Chapman got the win. Scherzer got the loss, and Efros got the save. Yeah. And the Rangers over the Mariners 7-4. Marvin got the win. Gonzalez got the loss, and Hernandez, I should say, got the save. All right, so we'll go now to the standings here, and they go like this. Thanks to that win, the Yankees are now 72-42, have a 10-game lead over the Blue Jays at 61-51. The Rays are at 51-50. Hold on a second here. They're followed by the followed by the Orioles, which were starting to come alive. but now they're 59 and 56 and 54. Yeah, could do better. And the Red Sox are now 56 and 59, 14 and a half back. Baltimore is now 12 and a half back. Yeah. Okay, over to the Central. The Guardians 60 and 53. Twins are only a game back at 58 and 53, and the White Sox are 2.5 back at 58 and 56. Royals 47 and 68, 14 back, and Tigers, sorry, 43 and 72. Back.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I wish I had better news, folks, but I don't.
still third worst in the American League.
Oi. Astros, who are the best in the American League, are 74 and 41. Yeah, dirty, no good. 12 back are the Mariners at 60 and 69. Not good. Rangers are at 50 and 63. That's 20. That's 23 back. Angels 45 and 63, 24 back, and the A's 41, 71, 32 and a half back. Not good. Not good at all.
Worse than the Tigers.
Yeah, even worse than the Reds. The Mets, well, they're still plugging along. 73, 74 and 40. Have a 5.5 game lead with the Braves at 66 and 38. They're not going away. Phillies 63 and 50 at 10 half back. Marlins 50 and 64, 24 back. And the Nationals, okay, 37 and 77, 37 back. So in other words, you haven't got a prayer in hell.
They're 38 and 77. Braves are 69. The Braves are 69 and 46.
Ooh, wow. It's close. Okay, so moving on now. The Cardinals are, when we're to the Central, the Cardinals are 62 and 51. Have a half game lead over the Brewers. That's 61 and 51. This is going to be close. The Cubs, okay, 47 and 66, 14 and a half back.
Oh,
Yuck.
65. 47, 60. Wait, let me check the standings again. Is it 66 now?
It is. Cardinals are 62 and 51. My phone was a little bit blurry, but now I got up on the other side here. Brewers are 61 and 51 at a half game back. Cubs are 47 and 65 at 14 and a half back. Pirates 45 and 68, 17 back, and the Reds 44 and 68 at 17 and a half back. To the West, the Dodgers 79 and 33 have a commanding 17 game lead over the Padres at 64 and 52. Wow. Giants 55
NL
and
West
50,
champs.
yeah, for sure. Giants 55 and 57, 24 back. And the D-backs, the perennial losers as well, at 51 and 61, 28 back. Oh, boy. It seemed like, the D-backs were trying to make some effort early in the season, but they had not just fell flat back. And I was really hoping that the Cubs were going to do something this year. Unfortunately.
How about those Colorado Rockies?
Yeah, well, that too.
51 and 64, 29 and a half back.
Pathetic. I mean, just completely pathetic. All right, so here we go with tomorrow's schedule, and it goes like this. The Padres take on the Nationals at 12:05. 1:07, the Guardians take on the Blue Jays. 1:07. Your 1:40 games are the Braves versus the Marlins. The Orioles take on the Rays. The Cubs take on the Reds. Phillies take on the Mets. 2:10. Your Tigers take on the White Sox. At 2:10, the Dodgers will take on the Royals. The A's will take on the Astros. At 2:15, the Brewers will take on the Cardinals. 2:35, the Mariners will take on the Rangers. The D-backs will take on the Rockies at 3:10. The Pirates will take on the Giants at 4:05. The Twins will take on the Angels at 4:07. And you guessed it, the Yankees take on the Red Sox in the nightcap at 7 o'clock. Why? Simple. It's those teams. Go figure.
On
Right?
ESPN, Sunday Night Baseball.
Of course. What were you expecting, right? Right.
Can't wait.
Yeah, well, like I'm saying, if the Red Sox have any chance, they gotta start acting right now because the way they're going, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, they're the second best team in the AL now, behind the Houston Astros,
I
who
know,
have
I
caught
know.
up.
Yuck. Now, the trade deadline can really change everything. All it takes is, I think, one trade, to either make or break a team here, and that's what I think has become right now. Because I've seen teams that before the deadline, have pretty much things, thinking they got all wrapped up and whatnot, and then all of a sudden, change of fate comes along as you change teams and whatnot, and it really sets everybody off. I mean, a lot of people think, the trade deadline's not that important. Oh, yes, it is. Right now, the Ravens lead the Titans 23-10. Oh boy. The Falcons beat the Lions in 27-23 earlier. Boak had 18 for 29, 141 yards. Also had four rushing.
David Blau?
Blau.
David Blau, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Kennedy had 8 receiving for 104 yards. Ryder had 103 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also had 6 rushing yards for 59 yards. Darby, 2 receptions and 14 yards. This is coming off ESPN right now. And the Browns over the Jaguars, 24-13. Lutton, 12 for 27, 92 yards and an interception. Antonine had 9 rushes for 23 yards. Jones, 5 receptions for 42 yards. Doesn't sound like much. Dobbs was 10 for 13, 108 yards and a touchdown. Ford, 10 rushes for 57 yards and a touchdown. Ford also had 45 yards rushing and a touchdown. The Cardinals over the Bengals, 38-23. Browning was 13 for 24 and 190 yards. Patrick had 9 rushes for 30 yards and a touchdown. Pryor had 4 receiving yards and 89 yards and a touchdown. McSorley, 13 for 22, 163 yards and a touchdown. 4 rushes for 32 yards. Isabella, 57 yards. And last night, Jets over the Eagles, 24-21, despite the fact of the injury that occurred. Oh boy, not good when you think about that. But I'll get to more on that in a little bit. But just an ugly situation there. But like I said, that the injury looked to be more serious than thought, as his knee was buckling. But that's all that came out, and he got up under his own power. And when you're able to get off under your own power, I think it's a good sign that it's not as serious as most people think. So we have to look at the bright side on that, people. And right now, the Broncos lead the Cowboys 17-0 as we just started the third quarter. Luckily, it's only preseason, people, so I'm not too concerned. All right, so now on to the headlines of the day. Yes, I'm not too concerned right now. If it was to be anything more serious, then then I'd be concerned. But right now, no. All right, so now we'll get to the headlines here. The Astros are activating Lance McCullers from off the 60-day injured list, as I just mentioned. McCullers made his debut tonight, starting at home against the A's. He was sidelined for much of this, for all of last season after suffering a setback, which happened during the lockout, and was recovering from a flexor tendon injury that he suffered in the playoffs of last season, which also isn't very, very good right here. To continue the story here, McCullers set career highs for wins with 13, with a 3.16 ERA, 165 strikeouts in 162 innings last season. The injury-hit Red Sox are getting closer to signing one of their key players back on the roster. Unless a setback occurs, they should be able to expect outfielder Kylie Hernandez, who has been on the injured list since June 8th and has been experienced multiple delays, should be able to return at some point next week. The hope is for him to travel with the team on Monday, set by Red Sox manager Alex Cora. Kylie Hernandez. He will let us know, but for now, he feels all right. Hernandez is playing in rehab games this weekend, and a decision will be made after that rehab process is over. Cleveland Browns center Nick Harris will likely need season-ending surgery, set by head coach Kevin Stefanski, said today. Harris injured his right knee in last night's preseason game against the Jaguars and needed to be carted off the field. Okay, not a good sign there, everybody. That's for sure. Ethan Powick replaced Harris at center. Powick started at center for the Seahawks for 5 seasons, totaling 40 games before signing with the Browns in the offseason. Harris was slated to be the only starter on the offensive line, replacing J.C. Terter in March. 5 months ago, okay. Baker Mayfield got the starting position for the Panthers in today's opener against the Washington Commanders. Mayfield is in what the Panthers call an open competition with Sam Darnold for the starting job. Oh, that should be a breeze right there, because Darnold is awful. He played his first series today, and Darnold played the second. The two split refs with the first team in the first phase camp on Wednesday. Coach Matt Rule said that he would make a decision on a starter would not make a decision on a starter until week one. Next week's joint session practice with the Patriots and then play the Patriots game on next Friday. The Panthers acquired Mayfield. Panthers acquired Mayfield in the 2018. Replaced who was the top draft pick in the 2018 with Deshaun Watson. Now we know where Watson has been lately, haven't we? So, what a boob. Continuing on, Notre Dame wide receiver Avery Davis suffered a torn ACL in his right knee and will miss the entire season. Sorry to say. The injury had acquired in practice during a practice run yesterday. Davis previously injured his ACL back in November and missed the last month of the season. The loss of Davis depletes the wide receiver group even further in terms of experienced players. Without Davis, only 2 wide receivers have caught more than 20 passes in a season, namely Braden Lacey, who is probably the only one that has the experience, and Lorenzo Styles. And Lorenzo is the only one with starting experience. Okay, not cool there, folks. As we mentioned, Zach Wilson will miss the first 2 to 4 weeks after suffering a bone bruise and torn meniscus tear, sources told ESPN. There is a chance that Wilson could return in time for the opening week of the regular season against the Ravens, according to a source, but I wouldn't bet on that, people, because even though with the week off in between the last preseason game and week 1, that's probably not going to be enough time. So more likely it's going to be week 2 or week 3 before we see him play into any action. If he is unable to play, then the Jets are going with Joe. Will go with Joe Flacco. That, according to Coach Robert Saleh. I don't think it's a very smart move, but that's what he wants to do. Wilson will not need a full repair of the meniscus turn, but only a small trim. So if that's any consolation, I think we got that. The arthroscopic surgery is expected to determine how much time he will miss. The New York Post was the first to report the injury and the timeline. Wilson was injured the first quarter of a non-contact injury, as his knees started to buckle as he was scrambling out of pocket. Then, well, he limped off to the locker room. And if you're looking for an inspiring story, well, they say the best comes to those who wait, and none is true that for one player in the majors. Journeyman Witten Bernard finally got his chance to play after being in the minors for a decade after being drafted by the Padres, and he made it count. Bernard bat 8th, bad center field, stole a base and scored in his debut as the Rockies beat the D-backs last night 5-3. Bernard was in the minor league system for a decade and played 863 minor league games before his contract from AAA Albuquerque selected him by the Rockies last night. He has made a memorable debut that sparked in the 7th to give the Rockies the victory. There's more. He received a loud ovation as he came to bat in the 3rd. He grounded to second, but received more love from the crowd. He spent 3 seasons in the Padres minor league system and the minors for the Tigers organization, the Cubs, and the Giants, and played overseas as well for Mexico and Australia. In 10 minor league seasons, Bernard batted .286 with 50 home runs and 226 stolen bases. Eat your heart out, Ricky Henderson. Yeah, and that's like a feel-good story right there. All right, for something completely weird, Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray might not have been in uniform last night, but was still able to do what he did in practice in the weeks leading up to their first preseason game versus the Bengals. Murray called defensive plays in the 4th in their win over the Bengals alongside quarterbacks coach Cam Taylor. Murray was on a headset relaying plays to quarterback Jared Gontardio, who played the entire second half. Murray was in charge of 2 actual series and 2 kneel-down plays to close the game out with head coach Kiff Kingsbury. Said after the game, they were not Murray's preferred choices of plays. Well, I can vouch for that. But they said his teammates said he did a fine job. I don't know if it was 2 kneel-down plays were really necessary, though. Kingsbury said that Murray did some of the plays despite the result. He had some guys open. He did a great job and was impressed. Now, congratulations on that. All right, moving along. And right now it's halftime. Well, actually, no, it's in the 3rd quarter, and Dallas is still losing. Okay. All right. British Open champion, as the playoffs in golf begin, Cameron Smith has spent all week avoiding inquiries about wanting to leave the PGA for the new rival LAV Golf League. World War III continues. His only concern was winning the St. Jude Championship this week. Now there's an extra added incentive as well. If he can win that event tomorrow, he would be ranked number 1 in the world. Right now, he's 2 strokes behind. which is easy to make up. Even as JJ Span picked up a pair of birdies 268 heading to the final round. Well, it still looks legit that he can do it. The U.S. men's junior hockey team demolished Australia 7-0 to improve to 3-0 World Championships. Team USA plays Sweden tomorrow to wrap up group play. Also today, Canada beat the Czech Republic in Group A, and Group B was Germany versus the Swiss. As round robin play will end up in that tournament tomorrow. Actually, this is making up from last spring when COVID was running rampant in the tournament. So it's a shame there. It's a shame it had to come to that. In Little League, New York beat Tom's River last night 4-0. Yeah, once again, Tom's River fails me. For you college basketball lovers out there, the NIT, well, guess what? They're leaving their home of the Garden in New York. What a shame, first of all. At least for the next 2 years. The 2023 NIT tournament will be played in Las Vegas, while the 2024 tournament will be playing in Indianapolis in favor of their old haunted MSG. Of course, Indianapolis has been home to a couple of Final Fours. The NCAA began to explore other venues for the NIT in March, in sources telling ESPN that became to a mutual agreement for MSG and the NIT. Well, I think we can blame Dolan for that. James Dolan, that moron. The tournament was canceled in 2020 as a result of the start of the coronavirus. The 2021 tournament moved to Dallas and reduced the field to 16 from the normal 32. That marked the first time that the final 3 games were not played at MSG. The reduced field only featured at large bids, and no automatic qualifying teams. This past March, the tournament did return to the normal 32 format, and the Final Four at MSG as Xavier beat Texas A&M for the title. Bubba Watson signed a multi-year contract with 23XL Racing. The Cup team owned by Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan, yes, that Michael Jordan, formed in 2020, was built around Wallace as the only black driver competing at the NASCAR's top level. The team expanded this season by adding a second car with Kurt Busch as the teammate. He said it feels great to get this renewal done, and thank Hamilton and Jordan for supporting him. Wallace is coming off his first pole at Michigan International Speedway, but came up short of clinching a playoff victory. Now Wallace needs to earn one of 16 spots in the champion field. His runner-up finish last week gave him 4 straight finishes of finishing somewhere in the top 8 or better as he heads to Richmond Raceway for tomorrow. A win in any of the last 3 races of the regular season would secure him a spot in the playoffs. Well, good luck with that, buddy. On to more news here. USA Basketball has selected its roster for the second open window for World Cup qualifying as the Americans are closing in on a spot for next year's tournament. Yes, they do have a World Cup in basketball tournament, folks. Jim Boylan, who of course is known for Syracuse, will return to coach Team USA. The roster will include 6 players: Michael Frazier, Langston Galloway, David Stockton, Dan Jeffries, John Jenkins, and Eric Minka, who were on the previous roster last month. The other 6, Tyler Kavanaugh, Malik Ilson, Diwan Hernandez, Matt McClung, Robert Woodward, and McKinley Wright. And by the way, it's right with a W. Continuing on, the Americans went 5-1 in the last open window and now move on to the second round. 7 nations will qualify for next year's World Cup. That's right, only 7. The There are 3 2-game windows open for round 2. The first is August 25th and 29th. That's coming up. November 11th and the 14th, and February 23rd and the 26th of next year. If the U.S. tops Hungary and Colombia, they could clinch a berth in the November window.
Go for it, man.
You got it, and hopefully, and the most important thing of all, the winner of the tournament will automatically qualify for the 2024 Summer Olympic Games.
Damn, I can't wait.
Okay, and on your neck of the woods, sort of, the Michigan State Spartans men's basketball team have re-signed Tom Izzo to a 5-year deal worth $30 million, averaging $6.2 million a year, give or take. Giving him
31.
31 went to 31 now. Okay, giving him $2 more million each season. The school announced the deal on August 11th. Saying the rollover contract will have to be approved by the board next month. That's just a formality anyway. Izzo was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame in 2016. He won a national title in 2000 and led all coaches with 8 Final Four matchups. He led Michigan State to its 24th appearance in the tournament last season. He has won 10 regular season titles and 6 Big Ten tournament titles. So he has done some serious damage.
Yeah, that's a legendary head coach, all right.
Yep.
And 6.2, by the way, times 5 is 31.
31 million. So do you follow actually more of the Wolverines or do you follow more the Wolverines or the Spartans?
Both equally.
Okay, fair enough. The NBA will honor 11-time champion Bill Russell by retiring his number 6 throughout the league, and deservedly so. Russell commemorative patch, uniforms, and logo on courts will be used across the league as well for the entire season of 2022 and 2023. The league and the Players Union Association made the announcement back on the 11th. His success on the court, pioneering activism, deserved to be honored in a unique and historic way. That's said by Commissioner Adam Silver in a statement. Of course, Russell, currently the number 6 is worn by Kristaps Porzingis of the Wizards, yuck, and LeBron James of the Lakers. Russell died almost 2 weeks ago at the age of 88. He won 8 straight titles with the Celtics, 11 overall, and went to the finals 12 times, more than any other player, including Michael Jordan. So, who would be the better player now? If you were to ask who was the better NBA all-around player, would it be Jordan or Russell? I think I had to say Russell. Of course, you can draw your own conclusions of that. And have we seen the last of Serena Williams? Well, let's just say maybe I think she's starting to wind down, but not retiring just yet. But she lost in the second round of the Toronto Open, losing in straight sets, 6-4, 6-2 in the second round, back on Wednesday, to Belinda Bencic. The 23-time Grand Slam champion was greeted to a standing ovation, though she didn't smile or wave, as she took a sip from a plastic bottle as she walked in. Some people in the crowd captured the moment on their cell phone cameras. Others held handmade signs with messages saying, "Thank you." There is no telling how long Serena will play before she steps off the court for good, but that early exit could be a sign that her career is definitely winding down. And not for nothing, but she has not been the same since she had the baby. I think it may have took a lot out of her. And of course, now at the age of 40 plus, well, that could be a sign right there. Okay, folks. I mean, I know it's a bit early. The preseason hasn't even started for the NBA, but Vegas is already starting. The Celtics are the betting favorites to win the NBA championship this upcoming season, much to my dismay. and have the highest amount in total wins at 54.5. That according to Caesars. The Phoenix Suns are the next highest total at 53.5, followed by the defending champion Warriors and Bucks, or as I call them, the Yucks, at 52.5%. With Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving involved in a wild offseason involving in trade rumors, the Nets could do no better than 45.5 for the new season. Still respectable, but not great. We just gotta go. We just gotta go off by what we know, said by Caesars Sportsbook Assistant Director Adam Pullen. One thing I am not high on is where the players are going. But of course, I don't really buy into that stuff either. The Spurs and for those numbers, and for the Spurs, Rockets, and Pacers are expected to have the lowest total at only 24.5 wins. Wow. Well, if you believe in that stuff. The totals at FanDuel and DraftKings largely match Caesars' opening numbers, though a couple of teams differ by 1 or 2 wins. A notable position is FanDuel and DraftKings offering the Grizzlies at 48.5 wins. What? Last season, the Grizzlies ended at 56-26, outperforming their win total by 13.5 games. That ranked them second behind the Cavaliers at 44-38, outperforming their win total by 18.5 wins. The Lakers and Pelicans are both slotted at 44.5 wins this season. I don't think so. If it is, you'll be lucky. And one more note on this list here. Okay, this I think is going to be kind of just hard to swallow here. Trial has begun over Kobe Bryant helicopter photos. Bryant's wife Vanessa is seeking unspecified damage of millions in compensations for snapshots taken of his corpse that were circulated around after both he and his daughter were killed in a plane crash in January 2020. Sick. The invasion of privacy trial against the LA County Sheriff's Office and Fire Department began on Wednesday. Mrs. Bryant claims the deputies did not take the photos for investigative purposes and shared them with the fire department, who responded to the crash site. The lawsuit said deputies showed photos to her bar patrons and that a firefighter and showed the photos to off-duty colleagues. Mrs. Bryant feels ill at the thought of the firefighters, sheriff's deputies, and members of the public gawking at the images of her deceased husband and child. That's got to be sick. You're doing that. You're showing it where you're parading it off to them as corpse. How stupid can you be? Kobe and daughter Gianna and other parents and players were on their way to a girls' basketball tournament when their chartered helicopter crashed in the Calabas Hills west of Los Angeles in heavy fog, which you should be taking off in anyway. Oh, here's one more note here. The FIFA World Cup will now begin a day earlier on November 20th, which is a Sunday, source told ESPN, instead of Monday the 21st. Since 2006, the first match of the tournament has featured the host country, but this year is scheduled to begin on November 21st with Senegal versus the Netherlands. To continue on with the story here. So that would mean that the proposal with the agreement came from both countries and the South American Confederation is for Qatar versus Ecuador to move up a day ahead with an 11 a.m. kickoff time. The only game on the schedule on that day. Otherwise, it would clash with the NFL on a Sunday, and this country that is inhuman to do. So that's a no-no, as we say. And the first match will be the third game of the tournament, and the opening ceremony will take place after the first games have started. But the Olympics do the same thing as well, so that's really not much of a big surprise there. That's been done for quite a while. And like I said, the FedEx Cup has taken place now, and a federal judge denied a temporary restraining order against 3 golfers who were seeking to play in this weekend's FedEx Cup tournament at the St. Jude Championship this weekend. Taylor Gooch, Matt Jones, Hudson Swafford were seeking relief to participate in the first leg of the playoffs. All three are in the top 125, with Gooch the highest at the 20th spot. Jones is 65th, and Swafford is 67th. First of all, no, because you backed out of the PGA and went to this new rival league and thinking, well, maybe we should try to do it. No, you should have thought that before you backed out of the PGA to join this new rival league in Saudi Arabia. And now you want to come back to play in the playoffs of the PGA? No, you turned your back on it. You're gone. Sorry. I think Tiger Woods was right. You turn your back on it, and now you want to come back. Actions have consequences, people. That's the point here. But some seem to, ignore that. And I'm sorry to say, but you had a chance, you bombed out, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Blew it.
But it's not right that the players have played all year, and then you have to decide. Well, I think we made a mistake. We want to come back and play in playoffs, but sorry, the commissioner says no. That's not going to happen.
Blew it.
Yeah, big time. Which in my book makes you a complete dumbass. I mean, because like I said before, Saudi Arabia is not really on our friends list, as you might as well know. So, and they have to come up with this new plan to lure our professional golfers away. No, that's not proper. So I'm sorry to say, but like I said, Tiger Woods was right, and you got to pay the price. You blew it. So don't come crying to me, people. As World War III rages on. All right, I think I've wrapped up everything here, so I'll just turn it back over to you.
All right. That's a dramatic way to end this episode 12 of True Sports. He's Lewis. I'm Taylor. We'll be back. We'll be back next Saturday night at 11.
You got. Good night, folks.
Or 10:30. Yep.
Right. Good night.